Boston, state-backed Russian hackers broke into Microsoft's corporate email system and accessed the accounts of members of the company's leadership team, as well as those of employees on its cybersecurity and legal teams, the company said Friday.
微软周五表示，国家支持的俄罗斯骇客闯入了公司的电子邮件系统，并进入了公司领导团队以及网络安全和法律团队员工的账户。
In a blog post, Microsoft said the intrusion began in late November and was discovered on January 12. It said the same highly skilled Russian hacking team behind the SolarWinds breach was responsible.
微软在部落格中表示，这次入侵始于11月底，并于1月12日被发现。该公司表示，与 SolarWinds 骇客事件背后应是同一支高素质的俄罗斯骇客团队。
A very small percentage of Microsoft corporate accounts were accessed, the company said, and some emails and attached documents were stolen.
公司表示，一小部分的微软公司账户被入侵，一些电子邮件和附件被盗。
A company spokesperson said Microsoft had no immediate comment on which or how many members of its senior leadership had their email accounts breached.
公司发言人表示，微软没有立即就哪些会有多少高阶领导成员的电子邮件账号遭到外泄发表评论。
In a regulatory filing Friday, Microsoft said it was able to remove the hackers' access from the compromised accounts on or about January 13th.
微软在周五提交的文件中表示，它在1月13日左右从受感染的账户中删除骇客的存取权。
We are in the process of notifying employees whose email was accessed, Microsoft said, adding that its investigation indicates the hackers were initially targeting email accounts for information related to their activities.
微软表示，我们正在通知电子邮件被入侵的员工，并补充说，调查显示骇客最初的目标是电子邮件账户，以获取与其活动相关的资讯。
The Microsoft disclosure comes a month after a new U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission rule took effect that compels publicly traded companies to disclose breaches that could negatively impact their business.
在微软揭露事实到来的前一个月，美国证券交易委员会的一项新规定生效。该规定迫使上市公司揭露可能对其业务产生负面影响的违规行为。
It gives them 4 days to do so unless they obtain a national security waiver.
这规定给他们4天的时间完成，除非他们获得国家安全豁免。
In Friday's SEC regulatory filing, Microsoft said that, as of the date of this filing, the incident has not had a material impact on its operations. It added that it has not, however, determined whether the incident is reasonably likely to materially impact its finances.
在周五向美国证交会提交的文件，微软表示，截至文件提交之日，该事件尚未对其营运产生实质性的影响，但补充尚未确定是否对其财务产生影响。
Microsoft, which is based in Redmond, Washington, said the hackers from Russia's SVR Foreign Intelligence Agency were able to gain access by compromising credentials on a legacy test account, suggesting it had outdated code.
华盛顿州雷德蒙德的微软总部表示，俄罗斯 SVR 外国情报机构的骇客能够透过测试账户的遗留凭证来获得存取权限，这表明该账户的代码已经过时。
After gaining a foothold, they used the account's permissions to access the accounts of the senior leadership team and others. The brute force attack technique used by the hackers is called password spraying.
站稳脚跟后，他们利用该账户的权限存取了高层领导团队等人的账户。骇客使用的暴力攻击技术称为密码喷射。
The threat actor uses a single common password to try to log into multiple accounts.
威胁者使用单一通用密码尝试登入多个账户。
In an August blog post, Microsoft described how its threat intelligence team discovered that the same Russian hacking team had used the technique to try to steal credentials from at least 40 different global organizations through Microsoft Teams chats.
8月的一篇部落格文章中，微软描述了其威胁情报团队发现相同的俄罗斯骇客团队使用该技术，试图从微软至少40个全球团队的对话来窃取身份验证。
The attack was not the result of a vulnerability in Microsoft products or services, the company said in the blog.
该公司在部落格中表示，这次攻击不是微软产品或服务中的漏洞造成的。
To date, there is no evidence that the threat actor had any access to customer environments, production systems, source code, or AI systems. We will notify customers if any action is required.
迄今为止，没有证据表明威胁者可以访问客户环境、生产系统、源代码或人工智慧系统。 如果需要采取任何行动，我们将通知客户。
Microsoft calls the hacking unit Midnight Blizzard. Prior to revamping its threat actor nomenclature last year, it called the group Nobelium. The cybersecurity firm Mandiant, owned by Google, calls the group Cozy Bear.
微软将骇客组织称为午夜暴雪。在去年修改其对威胁者命名法之前，将该组织称为 Nobelium。谷歌旗下的网络安全公司 Mandiant 将这组织称为 Cozy Bear。
In a 2021 blog post, Microsoft called the SolarWinds hacking campaign the most sophisticated nation-state attack in history.
在2021年的一篇部落文章中，微软称 SolarWinds 的骇客活动是历史上最复杂的跨国攻击。
In addition to U.S. government agencies, including the Departments of Justice and Treasury, more than 100 private companies and think tanks were compromised, including software and telecommunications providers.
除了司法部和财政部等美国政府机构外，还有100多家私人公司和智库受到损害，其中包括软体和电信供应商。
The main focus of the SVR is intelligence gathering. It primarily targets governments, diplomats, think tanks, and IT service providers in the US and Europe.
SVR 的主要任务是情报收集，它主要针对美国和欧洲的政府、外交官、智库和 IT 服务提供者。